to one of those platforms. What is up, everyone? Brie here for another Analytics Friday. If you didn't see it yet, we are going to be talking about Excel or Sheets for SEOs. How can we use them? Are they actually going to bring any sort of use to us? And we'll be talking about that. But first, as always, want to thank my friends over at StreamYard for making this possible, allowing me to stream to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter all in one place. We've got some people jumping in. We've got Kotiba, we've got Chelsea, we've got Morgs, we've got Private Show Bart over on Periscope. We've got all sorts of people. And I'll be sharing my screen and walking you guys through some of my processes. Big Hoss over on Periscope, thanks for joining. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to it. So, Excel for SEO. So is anyone currently using Sheets or Excel for SEO purposes, for their data, to sort their data, to make sense of it? Anything like that? DJ, I see you over there on Periscope. Kodiva, are you using it at all? I know that you're doing some stuff, some marketing stuff. So Slash, thanks for joining over there on Periscope. All right, if you are using Excel or Sheets, go ahead and drop a comment and we can talk about it. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get going. So generally speaking, let's see here. Let's get this going. Okay, not for SEO yet. Okay, that's fine. I prefer to use Sheets just because I like to have everything in my Google Drive. It's easier for me to access and to share and all of that stuff. So I love Google Drive. If you're not using it yet, it's basically just like all the Microsoft stuff, but in the cloud for free on Google. There are some limitations with Google Sheets. We'll probably run into a few of those. But yeah, let's get to getting. So one of the first things, that we can do, I'm going to go ahead and go to Search. Whoops, not what I meant to do. I'm going to go ahead and go to Search Console. We've got Caldron and Jasmine over on TikTok. Thank you guys for jumping in. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and we can use none of these. Let's go to a different account real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and let's use Brian. Let's see if this website's going to pull in enough stuff for us now. All right, fine. We'll do this. Brian Fanzo. Not what I wanted. Let's pick one over here. Okay, so I'm just going to use this, for example, action tent. So this is the last 3 months. So I'm sure you've used Search Console at some point. And you get all of this great information. You can sort by clicks, impressions, positions, all that. All of that's nice, but it's more nice if we can I like to be able to spot opportunities relatively quickly. And with Sheets, I can do that. So I have taken all of that data from, I took all that data from Search Console and just told them, hey, export it to a Google Sheet. And so now I can use things like conditional formatting. For me, that's super helpful because then I can kind of see at a glance what we're doing. Now, there's not a ton of information here for this specific client. Their website didn't launch that long ago, but we are seeing some information. So I'm going to select this whole sheet here, and then I'm going to go to data, and we are going to go to, oh no, we don't really need to sort or slice. format, conditional formatting. So I'm going to do for the range of, let's see. Okay, if in click-through rate, let's do click-through rate. Click-through rate. Okay. If it is greater, let's do less than. Is less than, let's do, hey, what's up, cowbells, over on TikTok. If it's less than 4%, we'll have those highlighted. 4%. Okay, all these are highlighted. And if we add or we could always use a color scale, which is always a fun one too. That's nice. Let's see if we can add another rule though. So let's see here. I don't actually want this to be a color scale. So I'm going to cancel that. Delete this. So you can see, like, when you pull up conditional formatting, you can see all your rules on this right-hand side. And I'm going to add another rule here and say for this, for impressions, if it's greater than, let's call it, I don't know, 50. No, I don't want this for D. I want it for C. Add another range. C. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, C, do 100. Okay. Helicopter Dog Mom, Emily, Yeska, Dylan, Maddie. Thank you guys all for jumping in over on TikTok. I'm sharing my screen over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you want to see the screen share, jump over there. All the links are in my bio. So, okay, so now we have, if it's greater than 50, so we have E, which is our position. We have click-through rate, and we have impressions. So Vlad, thanks for joining over on Periscope. And I can just press done and we can see, okay, so that just applied it to the whole thing. Just not what I wanted. So let's do, we want this to be C. What if can we do this? C and D? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like, yeah, sweet, that's cool. I'm not like an aficionado or anything. But I have some fun. Here. So if it is greater than 50, I'm going to press done. And the click-through rate is less than 4. So now if both C and D are green, then that is an area of opportunity for us because we're getting more than 50 impressions, but our click-through rate is still relatively low, right? So we can see, and if we wanted to take this a step deeper, I could add a rule here that says if the position is greater than 5, and now we can see even better areas of opportunity. So action tent. Oh wait, no, I didn't mean greater than. I meant less than 5. Okay, so for instance, this right here, tent rental, Wichita, Kansas, we have 50 impressions. The click-through rate is 3.85, which is okay, which is, yeah, all right. But our position is 3.23. So this tells me this is an opportunity keyword that we could potentially get more traffic from if we paid attention to it, right? So now, and then I could set it up to where like we sort it by that, where we sort it by Andrea Cruz, thanks for joining, where we sort it by color, but I'm not going to do that. So I can scroll down here too and say, okay, well, we don't have 50 impressions on this one yet. We're in the 4th rank, and so party rental, Wichita, Kansas, again, that might be something that we look into. right? So we can see up here, impressions. We can also see things that are performing really well. We could go in and add different conditional formatting to see those things right away. Olama, thanks for joining over on TikTok. But yeah, so tent rental is really probably going to be a big one. Chair rental. So we're kind of on the cusp for that, like 5.39 on average, our position. But we're over 50 impressions and we have a 3.7% click-through rate. So what that tells me is like, maybe I go in and, well, for this, I optimize a little bit more for a chair rental, Wichita, Kansas, but also I change up my title tag. I change up my meta description, and that's really going to help me kind of hone in and hopefully increase that click-through rate, right? So we have that. Something else that I really like to do, let me go ahead. That's not what I meant to do. This is what I meant to do. I'm going to go ahead and let's do this. I'm going to pull up Screaming Frog. So this is something that I do a lot because if you've ever used Screaming Frog, there is a ton of information that you get on Screaming Frog. But then, you know, you kind of have to like sort through it. And, you know, it's kind of hard to like make changes or anything there in Screaming Frog. They do a really good job of you know, creating like predefined sorting things for you. But usually I just take it and put it into Google Sheets myself. So Eric, what's up? Good to see you. Let's see, I'm going to share screen. I'm going to share my Screaming Frog window. Okay, so now you guys can see Screaming Frog. If you've never used Screaming Frog before, do it. It's amazing for SEO. It pulls amazing information. So let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and keep using the same website. Action Tent. I already forgot what it was. actiontentparty.com. actiontentparty.com. Okay, so all you have to do is throw in the domain. It crawls everything. Okay, here it goes. And now it's going to start pulling through all the information that a crawler is going to pull for you, which is things like the status code, what kind of content it is, the title tags, meta descriptions, all these things. And you can see over here on the right-hand side that Screaming Frog already pulls some information for you that's going to be really helpful. Things like, if we scroll down here, obviously the response codes are important. The URLs, URL parameters, but then it's going to show you page titles, and if any of them are over 60 characters, if any of them are duplicated, meta descriptions, if any of them are over 155 characters or below 70 characters, as well as if any of them are duplicated. You're going to get the same thing for meta keywords and H1 and all sorts of stuff, right? So it's pulling all this information for you. It says the crawl is done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this. It's going to, I can export it into my Google Sheets. So hold on, let me add an account here really quickly. I didn't know it did that. I always just had it go into an Excel workbook. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. Okay, here we go. We're gonna add OK. We're gonna press OK. Let it go there. Save. Okay. And it's gonna take a second, but it's going to put all of that into a workbook for me, or it's going to put it all into a Sheets file for me. So let me see, because the pop-up just went away. All right, well, it's already available. So let me stop this screen share. Gonna add another one. Screen share, application window, Sheets. Okay, go in here. So now I've got all, now I've got all of this information from Screaming Frog right here in my Google Sheets. Because this can get really overwhelming, I go ahead and delete all the things that I know I'm not going to look at. So we don't have any 404s or anything. So I'm just going to delete all this. Same thing with index stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all this. So let's go delete columns. So we'll keep the title length, meta description, all that stuff. I'm getting rid of meta keywords. I don't generally focus on meta keywords very much, so I'm just going to delete that right away. Sunset with Sus. Who's that girl? Thank you guys so much for joining over there on TikTok. So then we have H1s, H2s, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll come in there. Da, da, da. Canonical. None of this stuff is really... Okay, wait a minute. Some of that might be important. So I'm going to get rid of this, though. Delete. And this, again, is just to help me not get so bogged down by a ton of information. That's just not going to be necessary. So you obviously you don't have to do it this way. Crawl depth, we'll keep that. Link score, I don't have it connected, so delete all this stuff. Percent okay, unique links, blah blah blah. Closest similarity. Okay, let's see. Okay, response time is important though, so we'll keep that there. Delete columns. Okay. So now we have all of the important stuff on here, and I can start. For me, this helps me determine priority. So again, a lot of this is just going to be conditional formatting. So things that I find really important. I already went through and made sure there was no 404s. It's a very small site, so I made sure there are no 404s or anything like that. Why are there like... This is interesting. Hold on. I'm going to open this because I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. Actual tables. Got it. Got it. Okay, so I'm going to start with title length, right? So we want to make sure that nothing is over 60. So I would just come in here, do the conditional formatting, make sure nothing's over 60. The reason that I like to do my Google Sheets in here is because let's say we need to write a new title, right? Let's say one of these is over 60 or 65 characters. What I'm going to do, and so it says title 1 length, I'm going to put a column to the right. I'm going to put new title. If there's anything in this, so let's do format, conditional formatting. I'm going to say if it's not empty, let's turn it green. GMC Connell, thanks for joining. If it's not empty, we're going to turn it green, and that's basically going to indicate to the client, hey, there needs to be a change, right? So now you're like, well, Brianna, how am I going to know if I'm over 60? I don't want to have to count all the characters. Perfect. You don't need to count all the characters. We're going to insert one to the right of the title. I'm going to put new length here. And what we're going to do is we're going to say equals, and we're going to do len and this column, okay? And so you can see all of these are 0 because we haven't made any changes. I'm going to go ahead and just do this to the bottom. All of these are 0. Now, if I come in here and start typing a new title, so I'm going to say action tent party, Wichita, Kansas, party rentals in Wichita, Kansas. I don't know. So now when I hit enter, it automatically turns it green, tells the client, hey, this needs to be changed. Obviously, you can change that color to whatever you want. And we can see the length of the title because we use that len function here, so we can make sure that we didn't go over our character limit. Does that kind of make sense? Yes, Eric said, so I just looked at the comments. Eric said, I don't even know why meta keywords is an option. Yeah, I don't know either. People are still using them, so I guess that's why. Okay, so yeah, that's something that I really like to do here. And that way I can just share all of the data with the clients and say, hey, you can look at the data, or you can just look for the green boxes because those are the ones that you need to pay attention to. Those are the changes that you're going to need to make. I'll come through here. I do the same thing with meta descriptions, H1s and H2s. You can, obviously the length doesn't matter as much, so I don't generally focus on that. I do look at this text ratio. I look at what's the other one? Response time is a big one as well. So highlighting anything that's excessive like this. So what is nice here, this is where the color scale is nice. So you can see the things that take a super long time are in white. So like this, what's in 12 here? FAQs. If we want to be able to see this, let's go ahead and lock this. How do I do this? I forget. Group. Okay, insert, delete, clear, hide, resize. Protect. I thought it was just like a lock. Like I just want to lock. Freeze. One column, which is this. So now I can scroll through and now I can see the page next to the response time. So we can see that this FAQ one is really the one that's lagging the most. And then some of these lighter colors, so things like chairs, it looks like that's just a picture. That's just a picture. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of color scales and things of that nature. Another place that I really like to use sheets with color scales is when I pull keyword data from SEMRush or Moz or wherever. So if I go here, I'm going to go to, let's just do domain overview. No, actually, that's not what I want to do. Let's do keyword magic tool. Let's do, what do we want to look at? HVAC. As I know Eric's on here, HVAC service. Okay, I'm going to let that run through real quick. Dog Crush Boutique, good to see you again. Okay, so now we have all of this keyword information, right? If I export this, thanks so much. If I export this to Excel, that's fine. We'll do that. It's going to go ahead and download right here. I'm just going to, I'll keep this one in Excel just so we don't have to get crazy. Oh, let me share it here. Share screen, share. Let's do this Excel sheet. Okay. So here we have an Excel sheet and it has all these keywords, right? And it has the volume, keyword difficulty, cost per click, which let's not focus on that right now. I'm going to get rid of cost per click. Competitiveness, is that what that says? Competitive density keyword. Okay. Number of results. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Delete. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of the trend as well. So let's go ahead, expand all these out. So now we have all these. Again, this is a place that I love the color scale. So I'm going to conditional, okay, so the volume works sorted by volume. So highest volumes at the top, lowest volumes at the bottom. Keyword difficulty, I'm going to do color scale keyword difficulty. So the more green it is, the more difficult it is. The less green it is and closer to red it is, the less difficult it is per se. So honestly, like HVAC service is a 62, but let's see, commercial HVAC and emergency HVAC, the competitiveness is only a 50 or like a 55, I mean. So that could be a good opportunity. The competitive density is also pretty low on this commercial HVAC service. So that might be something we look at. And then if we say, yes, this is something we want to look at, it has right here too, like what SERP features are being used. And we can see, well, that's not what I wanted. Commercial HVAC service. So we can see FAQ. So we know we should use FAQ schema on whatever page that we're going to use that for. Local pack, obviously, so local SEOs is going to be important here. Video carousel, so we need to make sure we have a video on that page, and then reviews. So any sort of reviews we can put on that page are going to be helpful as well. Is this helping? Like for me, this is stuff that I could geek out on this freaking all day long. I love this. Okay, so that's the last time I'm going, that's that on that. But I really want to share with you guys something that I had my assistant do for me that has just been honestly one of my favorite ideas recently. So let me walk you through that. Let me walk you through what that looks like. So not what I want to do. File, window. Get rid of this. I struggle with ads and understanding how to create them. Dog Crush Boutique over on TikTok. Ads for Google, for Facebook. What kind of ads are we talking here? Let's go back to SEMRush. And I'm going to go to, let's do domain overview. I want to show you guys this. I'm sharing this with you. You're only going to know this if you watch this video. And I'm not seeing anyone else do it. So hopefully this will be helpful. Now let's Nook. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let's do a competitor. Let's do okay, no, let's just do StreamYard. Okay, we're gonna do StreamYard.com. So let's say StreamYard was my competitor. They're not, but here we are. We're gonna say that is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I actually subfolders. So let's do StreamYard.com. I think they have a blog, right? StreamYard.com/blog. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so they have a blog right here. So I'm going to go to StreamYard.com/blog. And this is the subfolder. Subfolder search. So now this is only going to pull the information for blog posts, organic search. Okay. And so if we come in here, scroll down. Oh, this isn't working. Because this says doesn't have any of their blogs are coming up. Yeah, this doesn't have. So this is showing you what keywords their blogs show up for. If I can't, oh guys, I didn't even pull this up. You gotta tell me. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Stop sharing screen. That screen I need to share with you. Application. This screen. Okay, so I went to SEMRush. I went to organic research, the SEO dashboard, and typed in StreamYard.com/blog. So anything in this subfolder is what we're looking at. And we can see that they really only just started working on their blog. So this is probably a bad example to pull, but alas, here we are. So we can see the keywords that they're getting the most volume for and what those pages are that are ranking for them. So we can see let's see. Let's do position first. Okay, so StreamYard. So custom RTMP, they rank 7th for, and it is this blog post. So now I know that I can, or now I know that this is a page that I'm going to be focused on, or I need to create myself because they rank 7th for it. There's 170 searches for it. So when there's a much bigger blog, so let me think of somebody who has a built out blog. What is Marcus Sheridan? Where does he work? I think it's Impact, because I know they have a huge blog. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, it is Impact. Okay, so let's go here. We're going to visit their website. We're going to go find their blog. Blog. All this HubSpot stuff. If I just go to /blog, am I going to get there? Yes. Okay. So again, we're going to do the same thing that we did for StreamYard. We're going to do that /blog search. Theoretically, we'll see a lot more here. And so if they were your competitor, yeah, see, 57,000 keywords. So let's say Impact is our competitor and we're like, how the heck do we compete with this? Like, what are the things we need to focus on first? Where are we going to get our biggest return? Well, we can kind of get an idea of that when we look at this information. So what you could do here, so we see all of the things here that they rank for. And so we could export this, and for each URL, grab what keywords they rank for, right? So examples of perfect inbound websites. If I go in here, I can see, all right, there's only 2 keywords here. They get about 32 visits a month on that. That's not something that I want to spend my time trying to compete with them on. So let's go back. Let's try and find something else. Let's do, okay, these are the things I rank first for. Let's do something with a little bit more volume. How to build a social media following. Okay, let's see what blog post this is. Okay, and there's 202 keywords here, and they get about 460 clicks to their site through this. And now I can see all the keywords that they are ranking for. There's a featured snippet. People also ask. So this might be one that I actually consider focusing on moving forward. And we can see that this blog post was created in October 2020. Now that we're in March of 2021, maybe we can get a leg up because what we create is more fresh. So what I did is I had my assistant go through all the blog posts for one of my clients, and I had them pull all of this information for each of the blog posts. I did only if they ranked in the top 100 for this specific competitor. And now I have this huge workbook. It's like 100 and some odd tabs. And it's just all of their blog posts, the keywords they rank for, and how much traffic they get from that keyword, and how many backlinks they have to it. And that is how I've decided to determine which blog posts we should create first in order to compete with that client. So something that I'm really excited about and will be doing moving forward. Okay, before we wrap this all up, I did just share the link to my Buy Me a Coffee in the comments of my Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter live streams. if you would like to show your support, I really do use that money on coffee. And so you can donate a coffee there, or if you want to work one-on-one, if you just want some overall training, or if you want help getting your analytics set up, or to get some sort of audit, I think there are packages for both of those things on my Buy Me a Coffee as well. If you're over on TikTok, my Buy Me a Coffee is in my link tree. So I would love if you wanted to show support, do that. If not, totally cool. All right, guys, that is all I have for this week. If you have any questions about Excel or Sheets, I know I didn't really do anything crazy. That's the thing. You don't really have to do anything crazy. But if you're like me and you're a very visual person and you want to do color coding and you want to do all those things, it's really nice to be able to pull that data into Sheets or Excel so that you can get a clear picture pretty quickly, right? Yeah, so we're right at about 30 minutes. I don't want to continue bombarding you with information. So if you have any specific questions about Excel or Sheets, go ahead and drop those in the comments. I'll answer them if I can. And if not, don't forget you're a beast, and I'll see you next week.